Danger Dolan. From platform rebuilding bombs to falling underneath major cities to explore untextured zones, we count 10 WoW glitches made popular and legendary over the years.
Number 10.
One-shotting Doom Lord Kazak, a bug for paladins in which you could stack up a ridiculous amount of reckoning charges from intentionally getting critically hit, so players would stack up an unlimited number of them and use them against bosses, the most famous of which is a one-shot of the 40-man world boss Kazak. Soon after the video was released, Blizzard hotfixed the glitch so you could only stack up 5, and instead of a 100% chance to get a reckoning charge, it was reduced to 10% and 20%.
Number 9.
This one comes in from Dark Whisper NL. There was a glitch in Stormwind, fixed when Kata came out if I remember correctly, where you go into the trade district, there is a torch. When you stand on a torch, then jump on the wall, you fall under Stormwind. This was a popular glitch at the time since you would spend hours pretending to be AFK in Stormwind or Orgrimmar, so naturally you might have noticed that neither place was actually complete. And as Dark says, they fixed this for Cataclysm, they fleshed out all the areas, but it is still possible to get underneath certain buildings that do not have interiors.
Number 8.
Martin Fury. This was an item accidentally given to a player on the Vecnalash US server, who had had his account hacked and restored by Blizzard. They sent him his items via mail, but he also received this shirt, which could kill all enemies in a 30-yard radius. It passed into the hands of another player, Karate Chop, who used it several times in Wrath raids, a total of 14 times before he and several other accounts were banned for cheating.
Number 7.
This one comes in from Ruffle Hazard, who says, my favourite glitch would probably have to be the old Ironforge Airport back in vanilla through Wrath. Obviously nowadays it is accessible as a questing zone in the Dwarf and Gnome starter, but back in the day you had to wall climb a specific area in Loch Madan and go on a special route over hills of untextured terrain to be able to get there. When you did actually get there, all I can say to describe it is pure randomness. Some of the cards were punching campfires with their fists, you had random ass trainers in the middle of nowhere, tons of planes lining up and taking off, endlessly respawning trolls warring with the dwarves, and most infamously of all, mountain passes which led into a sudden drop into the void underneath the world. And on top of all of that, you had slow fall and jumped just right, you could get to a hidden wetlands farm with more randomness. Now theories suggest this might have been the original starting zone for gnomes back in WoW's alpha, since there's enough room for quests, a way into Ironforge, and plenty of trolls to kill, although it could just as easily have been a random decorative piece for flight paths. We're likely never going to find out.
Number 6.
The Corrupted Blood Incident, an artificial biological attack from the boss Hakar in Zul'Gurub, where players would get their pet infected and hearth out to a major city. There, it would spread to the low-level players, killing them instantly and constantly draining the HP of high-level players. It was so widespread that Blizzard actually had to release a patch to stop it from spreading. It got so bad that epidemiologists went over the conditions and reactions for a real-life human population epidemic, using the data from the Corrupted Blood Incident.
Number 5.
The Death Grip across Azeroth. For a while after the release of Wrath, it was an infamous glitch that saw Death Knights who grouped the player onto the Booty Bay boat would get catapulted across half of Azeroth. It went all the way north up to Alterac Valley until it reached a boat hidden underground. Likely a test boat used during development to make sure the boat actually took you where you needed to go, and they just forgot to get rid of it.
Number 4.
Starting a battleground early. Back in the day, it was entirely possible to wall jump your way out of somewhere like the Arathi Basin entrance to capture bases super early. Likewise, you could escape the map to roam around the edges of the basin or Alterac Valley. Most players were banned when they did this a whole bunch, since it was really easy to see people doing this, right-click their name and report. I myself used to wall jump my way off the map, but not for an unfair PvP advantage, just to explore around the untextured zones.
Number 3.
The Ice Stone has melted, a glitch from very early in Wrath of the Lich King. Global emotes constantly filling the chat box with, the Ice Stone has melted, the Ice Stone has melted. It took Blizzard employees ages to find the cause, and had to do with a quest from the Midsummer Fire Festival to place your hand on the Ice Stones to summon Frostwave lieutenants. But obviously some wires have been crossed during development. I personally remember seeing this message a ton, and it's only during research to this video that I finally find out why the ice stone had melted.
Number 2.
Serenade Bombs. During the race to down heroic Lich King, Insidia received a 72-hour ban and a loss of loot and achievements for using bombs to rebuild the falling platforms in the Lich King fight. The only trouble was, they had no idea these bombs were the cause. One of the rogues used the bombs in his normal rotation, and nobody knew why the platforms were coming back up. They were just pleased it was happening. But Blizzard dealt a hefty punishment regardless, and hotfixed the problem ASAP.
Number 1.
GM Island. Technically not a glitch, but an unintentional Easter egg from early WoW. This island was the hangout for game masters back when they needed a place to log out and back in from. But it also had a white interrogation room deep underground, which GMs would teleport players to for questioning about exploitative activities. For a while, players could reach the island by illegal use of game mechanics, but security measures have ramped up since then. That is it for this countdown. If you would like to suggest another countdown, head on over to reddit.com/r/thedDguides. Have a good one.